Welcome to She Talks, He Nods. We're your hosts. I'm Megan.
I'm Chris.
And this is our podcast. This week, we are audio only because we have been camping all weekend.
We bought a camper.
We did. It's so exciting. We've been looking to buy a camper for like 2 years now. And we finally found one that was within our price range and also like really well kept for what we could afford.
Right. Yeah, it's a 2000, and I believe the year today is 2026, so that makes it 26 years old. And it's
still younger than us.
That's true. It's just a baby compared to us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in great shape. It had only one owner, so they bought it brand new in the year 2000. So we're going to take real good care of this camper, hopefully, but I don't think they had kids, so that already puts us at a big disadvantage because our kids be breaking stuff.
And we have 2 big dogs, so that doesn't help either.
And those dogs be licking stuff.
Yeah, and scratching things, barking, getting excited. But we don't know. We can't confirm for sure. We didn't ask, but they did make a comment when we were viewing the camper where they said, it's just always been us 2. So that kind of made it sound like it was just them.
Maybe they had kids, but they didn't want to take them camping.
Right. Just bye kids, going camping for the weekend.
Can we come? No, it's just an adult thing.
No, we had a great time. So we have a lot to learn. We know absolutely nothing about campers. Nothing. We know something now. What do we know?
Well, I learned that in 2 days you can produce a lot of black water in that tank.
What's black water?
It's the poop and pee. My goodness. Way more came out of there than I thought was going to come out of there when we drained it. And luckily it all was in the hose and went down the drain. No hiccups there.
Yeah, honestly, I was kind of worried about that part, like the draining and the dumping and everything, but that went really smooth.
It did go smooth. I really wasn't worried until I pulled like the drain hose out and I was like, this bad boy is short and old. And that is a bad combination for poop running through this line.
Also, you didn't have gloves.
That's true. I did raw dog it. That is a real bummer. I should cut my hands off probably.
But no, it went really good. And our setup was good pulling it. We were more worried about our truck than we were like the camper setup because our truck is also pretty old.
Not quite as old as our camper, but
only 4 years older.
Not near as well taken care of as our camper.
Yeah, but it can still pull. You know, it's rated to pull that, but you know, it has over 200,000 miles and it's still doing its thing though. We are pretty big on not having car payments, and you know, we also just like older vehicles. Something about they just feel like they're built different, you know, and they last longer. Both of our vehicles have over 200,000 miles, and they're both great vehicles. I have no issue with our vehicles. I'll drive our vehicles until they stop functioning and the wheels fall off. I drive a Toyota Sienna 2008. And they were like, we need a new van, Mom. And I'm like, this van is great. It works great. And they're like, but the door's broken and you don't have heat in the front. And I'm like, yeah, it's great.
It's driving just fine.
It drives fine. I just wear some extra layers in the winter. And the door, you know, it probably is fixable. I just haven't got around to it because it just doesn't bother me that much. I think we all kind of learn to live with things. Like if you're used to like having a fully functioning vehicle, well, that door would probably drive you crazy. Mm-hmm. But you just kind of learn to live with it and you don't even notice it anymore after a certain amount of time. It's kind of like when like when you go to sell a house and all these things that you've lived with for so long and then you fix them, you're like, man, that was really easy. I probably should have fixed that 10 years ago.
For sure. That is kind of a bummer though. That does make you want to just fix the things that are broken. But yeah, like we got your like little air conditioning heater problem quoted for like $5,000 or so. Like,
I'll be cold.
The van is worth less than that.
Yeah. Look, I'm off on a tangent now. My whole point was we like our old vehicles, but now that we have a 9,600 pound fifth wheel dry to pull with our old vehicle, that might bring little issues in.
It might. Or it'll pull it until we're 70 years old. We'll see.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. 40 years from now, will we still have the same 2004 pickup?
Will we still have the same 2026 podcast?
We might.
Doubtful.
We just might. 40 year anniversary in the camper.
I just picture us and then on this day, you know, like the old person voice, like the lips in, like, oh, I did it good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But old people that are like healthy don't really talk like that. So hopefully we're going to be healthy old people.
It's true. Healthy old people do sound just like younger people, don't they?
Oh, do you think we'll sound the same in 40 years as our voice sounds now? That's interesting. I never thought about that.
Hmm.
My voice has changed so many times over the years. Like, of course, you have your like teenage voice and your kid voice, but then like at what stage, once you're an adult, does it become and like say the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
10 years ago, I sounded completely different, but I like smoked cigarettes then and just treated my body differently. So my voice has changed from just being healthier.
Yeah, I mean, I think your voice does naturally change just as your, the diaphragm's a muscle. So just as your muscles deteriorate, I think it does just change the tone of your voice.
Yeah.
Older people just have soft voices, and I'm sure their voice wasn't always soft.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I feel like it's not until you're like pretty old, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. A 70-something-year-old, do you think they sound the same they did when they were 30?
Interesting.
I don't think so.
Okay, we have to lock in. We don't have much time. So along with audio, this is going to be a shorter episode than normal. And so we're going to try to get through some stuff pretty quick. So camping, what was your favorite part?
My favorite part about this camping trip, I think, and maybe will be my favorite part about future camping trips as well, is the mentality. Like my mentality just changes when we're not around our normal life stuff, where I'm not like, okay, I got my normal responsibilities. I got to go do this. I got to do this. When we were in the camper, it's just like, let's just go play. And you guys want to go ride bikes, or should we go walk? Or, oh, wow, it's 8 p.m. Where'd the day go? Like that never happens to me in our normal life. I'm always very aware of the time, very aware of, all right, is it time to feed the kids? Is it time for me to start getting this going, On this particular camping trip, I had no concept of time, and I really enjoyed that. It let us just like feel free. That was cool.
Yeah, that's what I love about it too, because it's just a thing. Like whenever you're at home, there is always something to do. There's always something that needs to be done. There's a task, there's a project, there is something. And I just love the simplicity of just getting away. It's like not quite a vacation because we stayed local, but it's still just getting away from your everyday hustle and grind. And that's really nice just to it feels like a vacation, but honestly, it was even better than a vacation, because on a vacation, you're like, oh, I need to go see this. I need to go do this. You're kind of running and still doing things. But this was just like, let's just go unwind and relax and just be together as a family. And that was really nice.
Yeah, that is what it was.
And a really big plus. So, you know how people have like coffee snobs? Well, we're bed snobs. So we're very particular with what mattress we sleep on. And I'm more of a complainer than Chris when it comes to this, because my back just can't take it. I don't know. Or it's not my back as much as it is my hip, with my hip issues.
She's 75.
I'm not, but oh gosh, I do not want to think about how my hip's going to be when I am 75, because I already do have this.
It'll be made of plastic, honey.
Oh, plastic, isn't it? Like stainless steel or no?
Tupperware.
I don't know.
Everyday water bottle plastic.
Hopefully I'll never need a hip replacement. I do the hip stretches and all the jazz to not need that. But yeah, the really good thing about this camping trip for me was when we decided to come home today, I usually am like really excited to get home and sleep in my own bed. And I didn't have that feeling. So that was a big plus, that we don't have to spend a lot of money on a new mattress for the camper.
For sure. I mean, even if we go like 2 days in a hotel, like a nice hotel, when we leave, I'm like, oh God, I can't wait to sleep in my own bed.
Yeah.
This sucks, and it's fine. It's just different than what you're used to. But yeah, the camper bed was not bad. Of course, it's not our bed. They're different beds, but it was fine.
Yeah. So with camping, of course, this is our first camper. And when you're driving through that campsite and you see all of these cool and brand new RVs, and then you see some older, just speaking exterior only, where would you rate our camper? Like 1 to 5, 5 being like, that's the camper. 1 being like, how did that thing make it out here? Where would you put ours?
I guess a 2.5.
2.5?
Or a 3. We're probably on the lower end. Obviously, I feel like the campers that are in worse shape are in much worse shape. But generally speaking, there's a lot of just newer, nicer campers out there nowadays. So I feel like ours is probably in the middle, going towards the bottom. I
think so too. And here's some things I noticed about ours, like just from the outside, because when we look, and here's the crazy thing, and Don't get me wrong. I love our camper.
Right.
Love it so much.
Yeah,
it is like perfect for us.
I kind of wanted to interject and say that being said, I'm totally satisfied and happy with what we have.
Yes.
Totally satisfied.
But the thing is, when we bought it, I was like, oh, we're going to have this for 20 years. We won't even need to upgrade because the size is perfect for our family. And then, once you're in it, you do start to notice the things like, oh, it would be nice to have this instead of this. Oh, this would be nice to have. Oh, I see they have that. This would be good to have. And it's like immediately, this may be just a me thing, but I did go straight to looking at what other people had and saying, oh, that would be nice to have. Or glad I don't have that one. You kind of like, it's just like, I feel like in me to just compare. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's a me thing or if that's just a general human thing. I don't know. But I caught myself doing that. And even with doing that, though, I still am super happy like with our camper and I love it. But I did look at the other campers and be like, oh, that would be nice. That's luxury. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, I looked at other ones and was like, glad I'm not in that because that would be so tight and little. And, and of course, every different camper works for every individual family. And having those thoughts at the campsite just kind of made me think that's just kind of how we do in life so often. We look at another family and it's so easy to think, oh, the grass is greener. Look at what they're doing. Like we should be doing that. And it's so unhealthy, because when I sit and look at our life, it's the same thing. Like I'm really satisfied with the life we have. I love our family. I love our dynamic. I love our house. I love our lifestyle. I love our choices. But it is so easy to just look at someone else and think, ooh, wish we were more like that. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I feel like, the saying that comparison is the thief of joy is super, super true. But it is only true in the comparison scenario where you're comparing to someone who you would view or something you would view as being better or more than what you have. Mm-hmm. Then it is the thief of joy. But then even so, if you're comparing yourself to somebody who has a camper that's falling apart, you're not finding any joy in that either.
Exactly.
That comparison's still not good. You still shouldn't have that comparison. Comparison's just brutal. Yeah, it really is the thief of joy. Nothing good comes out of comparing.
With the world we have today where you only see, like, for example, I didn't see any of the campers from the inside, right? Mm-hmm. I only saw the outside and I'm just imagining what the inside looked like. Well, when you see another family or you see someone on Instagram or TikTok or the posts on Facebook, you're only seeing the outside of the camper. And that's kind of what I'm saying in the sense of where that is such a joy thief because it's so easy today for us to look at other people's lives and compare ourselves, even though we don't have the inside view.
Yeah, it's really unhealthy. Love the one you got. Love the life that you have. You can always strive to be better and strive to want more. And having goals is great and wanting to, have a growth mindset in life to never feel like you are done growing and you've hit the maximum of what you can achieve. You can always achieve more. You can always go farther. But don't let somebody else having that motivate you to do that. Have the motivation within yourself to just want to grow for the betterment of yourself, not in spite of what someone else has.
Yeah. And I think that's hard. That's something that I struggle with. And that's one big reason why I don't like social media and do try to stay off of it, because it is so easy for me to see something and instantly want to implement or change or do something different. And I'm like, why do I want to change what I'm doing when it's working? I feel like then you get to a point where you're trying to add so much of what these other people do and implement it into your life in different aspects like parenting and relationships. Like you're always trying to implement what other people are doing when that might not even work for you. Like a giant camper might not even work for us because then it's just more cleaning. I loved having a little space to clean. And it's just so easy to do that. Love what you have, like cherish what you have and don't compare to someone else or someone else's family because it probably wouldn't work for yours anyways. And what works for your family and your relationship, that's what's important. And find that within yourself. Don't look outward to find what you need on the inside. Look together. That's where you're going to find your answers. You're not going to find it looking somewhere else.
Yep. Still try to grow. Always have that growth mindset that I can be better tomorrow than I am today, but don't look at somebody else and say, I need to grow so that I can be like they are.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So one other thing that we did during our camp trip was we found some old DVDs. And what was within these old DVDs?
Your old pageants.
Yes, my old pageants. I used to compete in pageants from the time I was little until I was like 19. I held a couple Miss Kentucky titles, if you can believe that, from what you guys know I look like now. But that was my thing. And we watched the 2005 National American Miss Kentucky pageant, junior teen. I got fourth runner up in that one. The winner was Taylor Sang, who I think is the current Miss Kentucky right now for like the Miss America pageant. So she's still out there doing. She was always so nice. So she was so great. She won a lot of pageants that we competed together in. And I just love to see that she's still out there doing that. But with that, something that I did that I didn't even realize in the moment until after the fact, there was another girl in there, and I'm not going to say her name. And the first thing that came out of my mouth was, oh, that girl was so mean. She was like snotty, kind of like a stuck up mean girl. And I said that while I'm sitting here enjoying this like cool memory with my girls and Chris. And then like after the fact, I noticed they held on to like, well, what about that mean girl? And I'm just like, I didn't even realize that my comment stuck out. And it just made me kind of think to myself, like, you just can't say negative things. I wasn't thinking much of it. That is what came to my mind when I saw her on the screen, because I remember that for whatever reason. But when I said it out loud, and then the fact that that's what they held on to within this experience rather than some of the other fun things, it just reminded me that there's like a saying, isn't there? Like for every 10 good things that happen, and there's the one bad thing, you're going to remember the one bad thing over the 10 good things. Like it sticks out. Even though 10 good things happened, one bad thing happened, like say in an hour, you're not going to remember the 10 good things. You're going to remember the one bad thing. That's the negative is what sticks out. And I hated that I stole this cool experience that we had because I said one negative thing about somebody from the past. Like, I don't even know why I thought that. I don't even remember. This was 20 years ago. And
could have just been hear an opinion of somebody else.
Yeah, I very well could have. I don't even know. And it was a good self-check that we kind of need to watch what we say, especially in front of kids, because your kids, they're always listening and they're paying attention to what we as parents say. And that was a good reminder for me to remember that I need to be a good example. Chris and we need to be good examples of what comes out of our mouths in front of our kids. And we need to spit positivity. Not that negative opinions are not allowed, because they are, but in that context of me just saying a negative thing about somebody for no reason. Like no one asked me, was she a nice person? No one asked me. I just said, oh, that girl was so mean. And even though I said something about, Taylor Sang, for example, or some of the other girls, and I said they were so nice. And I was like, oh, I loved that girl. We were really good friends and we did a lot of pageants. I said all of those things too. But what they held on to was that one mean girl. Mm-hmm. And it hurt. And I felt guilt because that is what I made that experience into. And then I even told them after the fact, I was like, girls, I shouldn't have said that. I don't even know why I thought that. And it was wrong of me to say that. I shouldn't say something about somebody, especially somebody I don't even know anymore. And I didn't even know that well back then. I only knew them as an acquaintance through the pageant. So I even told them then, I was like, maybe they were a really nice person and I just can't remember. And I shouldn't have said that. And it's just kind of was a nice reminder to watch what we say, remember that they are always listening. And as parents, for every moment, they're catching those negatives. And even if you have 10 positives to counteract them, that one negative is making an impact. So if we can, as parents, stop that before we say it, that would be the best.
Yep. Make the core memories positive. You always remember the losses. You don't remember the wins.
Yeah, we got to figure out a way to make the wins stand out more.
Yep.
I hate that.
Anyway, well, we got one final thing. Got a listener question that we need to answer?
Yeah, we have an email. Someone emailed us a question.
Electronic mail.
Yes. So I'll read it and I'll let you start, okay? How many nights per week should a couple have sex?
Does it have to be only nights? Come on.
Funny. Gosh, now you set me up to answer it. I'm not ready.
No, that's just me being silly.
Yeah, that was funny though. That was good. Days and nights. How many times per week should a couple have sex?
Right. Depends per couple, for sure. Depends on the needs of the couple.
So I think it's different for every phase of life and parenthood that you're in, right? Because if you take us back to newlyweds, gosh, you're having sex all the time. I mean, most of the time, when we first met, what else did you do? You watched Austin Powers and you had sex.
Had sex, you got some food to get some energy for the next sex session.
Right?
Slip a quick nap in there for some energy.
More sex, right? And, I've heard that comes back around, especially for women, like is it like 40s? Like then you like have a big sexual awakening, like before menopause or something, maybe after. I don't know. I haven't hit that yet.
I am patiently waiting.
Yeah, honestly, gosh, I don't think there's a true answer to this. Then you bring it into whenever you have pregnancy and young kids and toddlers and babies. Well, my goodness, when does anyone have time for sex then? All
right, let's see. All right, how many times a week for newlyweds in their 20s with no kids?
See, I'm different. I can't just give a general number. You give a number because I have to explain. I have my whys and my reasonings. Like you give your number, newlyweds.
Like 3 to 4 times a week.
Okay, 3 to 4. Okay, babies and toddlers. Okay. Newborns to toddlers.
When you have a newborn to toddler, at your wife's discretion, whenever they're ready.
Good answer. Very good answer. Because a wife
guys,
be tired.
You just stay ready.
Not
you just be ready, guys.
Not saying that men are not also tired during that, and dads and everything. But yes, like especially if you're a nursing mother, you're up all night. Like you're not trying to slip it in. You're just not. Okay, now let's go. School-aged kids.
Are the kids at a public school or homeschool?
It doesn't matter. The school-aged kids.
Seems like it matters. One of those kids are gone. One of those kids are home all the time.
Okay, well, let's go in experience speaking. So homeschool kids.
Okay, homeschool kids. Ideal number. I would like to see at least 2 to 3 times a week.
2 to 3? 3? Three's a lot.
That's what I'd like. Yeah.
3's a lot. I think 2 is pretty reasonable. I'm even okay with 1.
I said 2 to 3. I know. Yeah, I know.
I'm okay with once a week. Okay, now teenage kids.
Teenage kids?
This is hard though, because everyone's different. Like this also depends on the couple's age, right? Yeah. Like we're just speaking from our experience. I don't know. We're not there yet, so we can't speak for that.
When our kids are in their teens, we will be in our 40s. We'll be in our mid to late 40s when our youngest kid is in their teens.
That might be during my apparent premenopausal sexual awakening. So who knows how many times.
I feel like when you're not like totally run down and there's not other life circumstances going on, because I would like to imagine, okay, as parents with teenagers, I'm sure you're still very busy. I'm sure your kids have a lot of stuff going on. You're having to do a lot of stuff. It's not like you just have free time already, right? Yeah. So I would say the answer to that is probably still as it is when they're elementary school aged. I'm going 2 to 3.
2 to 3. Now, empty nesters.
Empty nesters.
7 days a week.
Yeah, you got time. But do you have the energy?
No. So, okay, I'll just real quick, I'll give my interjection because there is no true number. And here's why. Okay.
The correct answer is 3. Go ahead.
3, the overall answer?
I think so. I think the average number is 3.
I think if we're going to give an average number based on like men and women, I think it's 2.
2 to 3.
2 to 3. I think that's fair.
2.5.
Here's why I say that.
Don't finish. 2.5.
Here's why I say this. So I'll be vulnerable. So I struggle with very low libido, and I have for many, many, many years, like almost all my life. It's always been like this for me. I have never truly had like big interest in sex. So for me, sex, there is times where I'm like, yeah, like this sounds fun. But even then it's not like I gotta have it. And I know that there's people out there who, even women, I know it is now, if we're talking like physiology wise, like we all know men, like they need that release. Like that is like kind of proven. I think for men, it is more needed. It is like, it builds up. You get tension, right? And that's why, what? Am I speaking out of term?
You're fine. You go ahead and you mansplain it.
No, well, you explain. You explain it.
You're fine.
No, okay. So my point is, like, I'll just speak for myself personally. Like, in those baby phases, never would have been fine with me, right? Because I'm exhausted. Because already for me, like even in our current stage of life, like sex isn't for me. And I know like, and Chris and I will have to have like an episode on this and like get a little deeper into this. And I'll give just a little surface and we'll get deeper into this another time. But, we have had conversation about this because there is times where I am doing that for him because he's my partner and not that I don't want to do it, but it's just like I could also be just as fine without. Like once we're there, I'm good. It's great, but I don't really desire it. And that is a me thing. And I'm sure there's other people out there like that too. That is just, like I said, it's libido. I have very low libido. I think it's important if that is the case to have those conversations with your partner and find what works, find the time that works, make the time for it. Never is not okay. That's not healthy, and I don't think every night a week is healthy. I totally agree that 2 to 3 times a week, pretty fair. Me personally, I'm going to lean towards 2. In our relationship, Chris is probably leaning towards 3, but it's just whatever works for you. And as long as you have good communication with that part of your relationship too, I think that's the most important part.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to, I have a lot more to say, but we'll have to have a sex episode because I'm not going to get into it. I'm trying to go to bed.
Yeah, you're right. He has to be in bed 12 minutes ago. So we're going to have to wrap this up. So sex episode coming soon.
Did you say coming soon?
That was such an unplanned but funny thing. See, I'm only funny when I'm not trying to be funny.
Sex episode releasing soon.
And when we say sex episode,
and when
guys,
we say releasing.
let's... That sounds bad when you say it like that. Sex discussion. Oh, there we go. Sex discussion episode, because it makes it sound like we're going to have a sex episode.
That's funny.
That is funny. Sex discussion. Marital sex discussion coming up soon.
We'll talk about sex, baby.
Yeah, that'll be all we got. All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap it up. See what I did there? That was funny. See, I am funny. He always tells me I'm not funny. He thinks I'm not funny. I'm funny.
See, anybody who says I'm funny is generally not funny.
I'm very funny.
I'll die on that hill.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys. Real quick, if you haven't done it yet.
If you made it to this part in the podcast, please go ahead, like, rate, review, subscribe, all the things. Share.
Yeah.
I always forget share, and you always say share.
Do you believe in life after love?
Oh, no, honey, that's spelled CHER. We want them to SHARE.
I don't know. Sounds like share to me.
Well, spelled differently. If they're looking for the share button, spelled CHER, they're not going to find it. It's spelled SHARE. Okay, this has been
She Talks, He Nods. Okay, love you. Bye.
Love you, bye. Good night.